Pull trigger. Pull trigger. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the boat gang. I got the Veles 29 on the freaking block. All right. Today we're going to be installing some new battery trays in this boat. Okay. Those are carbon fiber Oxidine marine battery trays. $10 each. Okay, you need two, one for each side. All right. I'm trying to lower the CG in this boat. All right. The boat kind of has a very low speed tip. She likes to tip and flip at very low speeds. I think it's due to the higher CG in the boat. All right. So we're going to actually cut these old battery trays out, install the new ones. We're going to have to do some modifications to make it work. Probably pull the whole electronics tray, cooling and the whole nine, pull all that out the boat so we can get to the battery trays and install the new ones. Okay, so it might be a long video, it might not, I don't know. Stick around. Big B with ironcladedout. Let's get to it, you guys. Let's get to it. Man, I'm excited to put these battery trays in. Really excited. Kind of like dreading the process though. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the electronics tray out. All right, motor, ESC, it all, you know, it's like 10-12 bolt screws right here. You just pull it all out. Connected my rudder linkage so I can push my linkage through, so I won't have any obstructions in the boat. You got to take that retainer off the stuffing tube and undo all your screws there, and the whole electronics tray comes right out the boat. Easy peasy. Okay, you can put that off to the side, and now we have full, you know, access to the battery tray. I got the straps out, the foam's out, everything's stripped out the boat. Okay, I got this metal cutoff wheel on my Dremel. All right, and I took my Dremel on that the back bead, just went all the way down. Okay, and then I took my Dremel on these easy to get to beads and got as much as I could with the Dremel. Okay, just don't want to cut into your hull. Be careful not to cut into the hull. Okay, take your time. All right, boom. All right, I was using a hacksaw blade to try to cut this out. It's such a fine tooth. All right, it was taking forever. Okay, just get it in there up against the inside of the sponson right here and cut it out. All right, and then I got this saw right here. All right, or you could use like a flush cut saw, flexible saw. This one's a little more aggressive. Okay, I've already got one side out, and it's got like wood. This is the inside. It goes in there like this. This is the inside. It's got like wood that holds up the battery tray. You guys see that? So I actually was cutting through the wood. That's what was taking me so long. The wood's actually glued to the inside of the sponson right here. All right, then I guess they set the tray on there so that it's level. Okay, so I got one side out. This is basically what it looks like without the battery tray in there. Okay, we're going to have to clean up all the glue, adhesive. There's still wood stuck on the inside right here on the side of the sponson. All right, so all I did was, like I said, I just cut it with that Dremel as best I could, as deep as I could, and I'm taking my cutoff saw here and trying to stay as close as I can to the fiberglass. Not cutting the fiberglass, just keep it as close as you can to the fiberglass. That's less glue you have to clean up later on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just being careful. You might want to tape off your boat, you know, around the edges, so in case your saw slips, it won't nick your boat. But I'm just gonna take it easy, you know, lightly put pressure on it. A lot of sawing, okay, especially with that wood up under there. A lot of sawing. So take your time doing this. It's a big project. Your boat's gonna be down for a few days, okay. Okay, so let's see how loose it is, because I may have to cut a couple of these again. Okay, so this side's actually popping out a little bit easier than the other side. Alright, so not lightly pry it up. Okay, lightly pry it up. Take your time. If it feels like it's binding on something, get your saw and cut it again. Okay, take your time with this. This is the hardest part, probably the whole mod. Okay, I felt that wood break loose there. Okay, got my hand on the outside of the boat. I'm feeling for extra flex. Okay, so we don't break nothing. All right, there we go. Got her out. All right, easy peasy. So the stock ones with most of the wood actually weighs 4 ounces, 126 grams, which they're not as heavy as I thought they would be. 126, and the Oxdean Marine 76. So about what, half the weight, I guess. Yeah, about half the weight. Okay, so in order to make this work and to make the boat light as we can, I'm gonna have to go light with the epoxy. Oh, that's gonna look good in there. Okay, I want to get them as low as I can, so I'm gonna have to cut quite a bit of this off, probably right there, and the same thing on that side. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned up. I'm gonna ponder on what I'm gonna do while I'm doing it. I'm actually using a very light, not aggressive flap wheel on my Dremel to get to this glue that's on the inside and on the outside of the sponson there. Okay, not aggressive at all. Very light sandpaper. Okay, and then I'm kind of getting this guy right here, you know, all that right there, grinded down, so it looks good. And then I'm just cleaning up this epoxy fiberglass that I laid down, and I had to stop where the battery tray was, kind of getting it to lay down flat, presentable, you know? So I'm gonna finish this up. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Show you what it looks like without all the glue. Okay, I got it sanded up nice. All this is gone, all the wood's out. Okay, it looks good. It looks good. I'm gonna actually put the stock battery tray in for you guys. I got the stock battery tray and I left 2 of the little spacers on there. Okay, so we're gonna kind of see how much lower we're getting the CG. All right, so I'm gonna throw my battery in there so we can get a good gauge here. Okay, so remember what I was telling you guys? You live by your adjustable rulers and feeler gauges when you're building an RC boat. These things come in handy. All right, so I got it marked here. Okay, about a ½ inch. Okay, a ½ inch gap from the top of the boat and the battery. Modified tray in. All right, and wow, look how much lower it is. Holy cow. So from the bottom, so hell, it's a whole ½ inch lower. So it was a ½ inch before. So far we've got an inch and like some change. Okay, so a whole ½ inch lower, and that's 2 batteries. The weight's going to be lower in the sponsons. Okay, it's actually 2 days later. Okay, I've been pondering and tinkering and working on this, but I about got my battery tray where I want it. What I've done here, I've modified my battery tray. I'm gonna set that light there so you guys can see it a little bit better. So I modified my battery tray. You guys see the corner right there where it's real thin? Okay, and up here it's real thin. All right, you got that little step that's on the outside of the boat right here. On the inside it protrudes. Okay, you guys see it where it protrudes at? Hopefully right here. Okay, so what I've done is actually notched out my battery tray. I tried to keep, you know, a little bit of meat on there so I have something to epoxy to. Okay, on this side I actually sanded a little bit more off this side and kind of angled it. All right, that non-trip, or yeah, the non-trip step, like, it's deep right here, and it like comes out shallow. So I tried to match it up on my battery tray, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that extra piece that I cut off my battery tray. You guys see that? I just got it tacked on there with super glue right now. I'm actually gonna use that as my spacer. You know, I don't want it to sit directly on the bottom. Okay, so you can see right here. Okay, you see how it really don't fit, and then it drops right down. I've got it contoured, shaped, and you know, so it fits the boat perfect. You see that? It fits perfect. Okay, I'm going to use, you know, that piece I cut off for my like spacer, so I get my battery tray sit right in the boat. So I've actually got this tacked on right now with super glue. Okay, so I broke the tack loose on this guy right here, and I'm just going to do one at a time. I'm going to use this new Bob Smith Industries 15-minute mild cure epoxy, and epoxy this onto my battery tray. I actually roughed up the surface I'm going to be bonding, so I get a good bond. I made sure I got everything flat because I actually cut this off so it was kind of rough. So I flattened it out and lowered the profile so I can get it as low as I can in the boat. Okay, and what I actually did is I took my Dremel and I dremeled right here on my battery tray. I hadn't done this side yet, so I could show you guys. All right, it's a really sharp edge right here, and I've had those sharp edges cut my battery tray in the past, so we're just going to kind of chamfer the edge, that inside edge where the strap's going to sit. Really, that's all you need right there. I went a little bit excessive on the outside where it's actually where I've had to like modify the battery tray. Okay, I actually took off more on that side because it's going to be sitting on that non-trip angle in the boat, and I wanted to make sure I could slide my battery strap under and out. Okay, it's going to be a tight fit, but I think I could pull it off. Okay, so I'm going to mix up some of this epoxy and go ahead and epoxy this little spacer on. Epoxied on there, okay, and what that's gonna do, you know, you see that big slit right there? Epoxy should get in there once we epoxied in the boat, and it's just more surface area for the epoxy to grab and hold. Okay, so just gonna let it sit. Once it's dry, we'll put it in the boat. I was thinking about using 24, but I kind of want it to sit up kind of quick so it's not all runny. And I'm going to mix up fiberglass chop strand. Okay, going to mix that in there, kind of thicken it up a little bit, beef it up so these things don't go anywhere once we have them installed. And epoxied one of the two trays in. Okay, I'm using my foam blocks right here to kind of like put pressure on it, make sure it gets a good contact, a good bond. All right, and you know, I just kind of did one little coat. I'm going to do them, you know, I got it stuck down basically, and then we'll kind of finish it once it's cured out. All right, so I'm actually going to start this side, and I'm going to walk you guys through the process. I wanted to kind of do one so I'm familiar with it, and I could help you guys, maybe give you a couple tips for the process. So just a few of these hairs in, just to kind of build up on the inside of that sponge in there. You know, not much. I don't want it real thick. This stuff's really thick. It's hard to work with. Take these hairs and put it exactly where the battery tray is going to be positioned. Like, get it on the inside of the sponson here, basically in that little corner. All right, all the way down. Kind of thick right here. Dang, I need to mix up some more. Okay. Jeez, I gotta mix up some more. And then I'm gonna put it right here where the tray's gonna sit. Okay, now I'm going to take some of this epoxy and put it on that little, you know, like epoxy slit right there. That's going to help hold all this stuff together. You know, it's going to get in that little slit right there and help hold this bad boy in. And then I'll show you what we're going to do on the other side to hold the other side in. This side right here we can kind of go heavy with. The other side I need to go light on this first application, and then we'll go heavy. Okay, so I'm actually going to flip it over here. Hope I don't have you guys zoomed in too far. Alright, I'm going to go heavy in these middle spots. Like heavy like right here. Heavy right here on the ends. And then real light on these skinny sections. Light on this section here, just coating this and the boat, the hull. Okay, you guys see what I got? I got it coated on both sides. Okay, we can clean the mess up later. I've got an application in the boat where the battery tray is going to sit, like right here. Okay, kind of on the high side, and then I've got some in the sponson on the inside of the sponson. Okay, coating both sections. All right, now we're going to set it in there exactly where it's supposed to be. I've got this thing notched so it like sits perfect in there in only one place. You know, got to work fast. This is 15-minute. All right, right there. Okay, right there. Now I'm going to take whatever I got left in my cup here. Alright, and try to get it in this crevice right here. Okay, like right in that little crevice in between the hull and the battery tray. So I got her in there. Okay, I got her all blocked up. Hopefully I got plenty of pressure on there. Those blocks are pretty stout. They're stiff and they'll put some pressure on it. Alright, so she's all done, you guys. I got a little light in here. I actually recorded the second application of epoxy for both sides. I was going to fast forward through it for you guys, and I didn't have it playing, recording. So basically I did the same process as I did when I epoxied the tray in. I just ran it on the hull itself, and then I tried to pull those hairs over onto the actual tray. You see how I've got it overlapped onto the tray? I guess you guys really can't. Down here in between the straps, you can see where the epoxy's built up in between the straps right there. I just kind of pulled it down, you know, built it up on top over the tray, and then pulled it down wherever I could. So I'm putting my battery straps back in. Alright, I'm going to see if I can do it one-handed for you here. You know, I took my pick tool. I actually used this guy right here. After, you know, once the epoxy was like 60% dry and you can like manipulate it, I put this pick tool in there and made sure I didn't have any epoxy, you know, in my strap, the path of my strap. I just kind of went like this, made sure everything was clear of epoxy here, so I can push my strap in. Okay, then I just use a poker, you know, chamfering the inside of that strap area actually helped because they slide right in. Look at that, just as pretty as you ever want to see. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put all my straps back in and go ahead and put my electronics tray back on. I need to pick up 2 more straps because I want to run 4. Okay, because I don't think I'm going to put the foam in here. I probably should, but I'm not going to run it right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put my electronics tray back in. Because, well, we'll be pulling the electronics tray out here shortly because I'm going to be putting some through-hole water pickups in the boat. You know, flush-mounted water pickup. That's coming up here shortly. Now I have the room to work in here. You know, I probably should go ahead and do it, but the video's getting long as it is. And, you know, I actually want to try out this lower CG before I put the water pickup in. All right, I don't like to do too many mods at a time on my boats. Boom! All right, she's done. Got her all back together. I upgraded my servo arm last time I had it out. The plastic one's stripped. All right, that's what they look like in the boat with the straps in. I'm running 4 straps on each side. Okay. Boom! Oh man, get my back. Look how much lower they are. Oh, I'm freaking stoked. I'm ready to go try it out now. Too bad it's freaking sprinkling. Oh, I'm tempted to charge the batteries. I want to see how well it helps to flip. Now, you guys can see where the end of the other strap, the other battery tray was. Okay, the end of it was like right here. So actually, these were a little bit shorter, but I actually like mounted them a little bit forward. Okay, building this boat for speed, basically. Golly, that looks good. Gee, yeah, man, it's a lot of work. My boat's been down for 4 days. 4 days. 2 days we're just planing and modifying the tray, the actual tray, to fit in the boat, figuring out how I wanted to do it. I went as light as I could with my epoxy. That's the brand new Bob Smith. That's how much I used. All right, I actually did 2.5 applications. Okay, I did the application you guys seen, and then my second application I went pretty heavy. That's when my phone was turned off. And my third little application was last night. I just kind of added some on the ends, on all 4 corners of each battery tray. Okay, so I think it's in there pretty solid. I guess we'll find out once we flip it, but that's how you change out and install new battery trays. Lower your CG into Veles. All right, pretty hard process, but I think the results are going to be night and day, to be honest with you. I can't wait to try them out. So the test run with the boat will be in the next video with this boat, hopefully tomorrow. So we'll see you guys next time. All right, Big B with ironcladedout. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel.